In the grand tapestry of human history, we have long sought ways to mark the passage of time, to celebrate great achievements and to remember those moments that define us. For centuries, one of the most enduring methods has been the striking of coins, not merely for commerce, but as miniature monuments held in the palm of a hand. Here in the United Kingdom, this tradition has evolved into a remarkable art form, the commemorative coin. A small metal disc that carries with it the weight of history, the echo of national pride, and the story of a people. My name is Adil, and today we embark on a journey. It is a journey that will take us from the regal celebrations of the early 20th century to the vibrant modern designs that fill the pockets and collections of people today. We will explore how these pieces of metal, so often overlooked, are in fact a chronicle of British life, reflecting its triumphs, its transitions, and its cultural heartbeat. From royal jubilees to sporting victories, from literary giants to musical legends, each coin is a chapter in our shared story. Join me as we uncover the fascinating evolution of these numismatic treasures. We will see how simple currency transformed into coveted collectibles, how design shifted with the changing face of the nation, and how the Royal Mint has continued to innovate, creating coins that are not just currency, but canvases for artistry and remembrance. This is the story of how a nation captures its own history, one coin at a time. It is a story of legacy, artistry, and the simple, profound connection we feel to these remarkable objects. Our story begins not in antiquity, but in a time of great pageantry and change, the year 1935. The British Empire, though vast, was stirring with new ideas. In the heart of this empire sat a monarch, King George V, who had reigned for a quarter of a century. To mark this significant milestone, his Silver Jubilee, the Royal Mint was tasked with creating something truly special. Something that would not only serve as currency, but as a tangible memento for the millions celebrating across the nation and the Commonwealth. The result was a coin that would redefine the very concept of commemorative currency in Britain, the 1935 Silver Jubilee crown. This was not the first coin to mark an event, but it was the first of its kind in the modern era to be produced in such vast numbers, intended for widespread circulation and collection. It was a bold statement, a democratization of royal celebration, allowing every citizen to own a piece of the historic occasion. A crown, traditionally a high-value coin, was now within reach of the many, not just the few. The design itself was a departure from the norm. While the obverse bore the traditional crowned head of the king, the reverse was a masterpiece of modern Art Deco-influenced design. Created by the artist Percy Metcalfe, it featured a striking, stylized image of St. George on horseback, slaying the dragon. Its sharp, geometric lines were so contemporary, so different from the classical depictions of the past, that it earned the coin an affectionate and enduring nickname, the Rocking Horse Crown. This design was a risk, a step into a new artistic territory for the Royal Mint. The clean, powerful lines of the horse and rider seemed to capture the spirit of the age, a forward-looking nation, proud of its heritage but striding confidently into the future. The public's reaction was overwhelmingly positive. The coin was a sensation, eagerly sought after and treasured. It set a precedent, demonstrating a clear public appetite for coins that did more than just represent monetary value. Over 700,000 of these crowns were minted, a significant number for the time. They were not just for the pockets of the wealthy, they were for the mantelpieces and memory boxes of ordinary families. This coin established a new tradition, proving that the currency of the realm could also be a medium for national storytelling and artistic expression. It was a break from the purely functional, a move towards the symbolic. The Rocking Horse Crown, therefore, stands as a landmark. It is the ancestor of every commemorative 50p, £2 and £5 coin that would follow. It demonstrated that a coin could be a powerful tool for connection, a way to unite a nation in a moment of shared celebration. It was the first critical step in the journey of the modern British commemorative coin, a journey that continues to unfold to this day. Its legacy is not just in its beautiful design or its historical context, but in the very idea it championed. The idea that the story of a nation, its milestones and its memories, could be captured and preserved in metal to be passed down through generations. The 1935 Silver Jubilee crown was more than just silver. It was the birth of a new and lasting tradition, the foundation upon which a rich world of collecting would be built. For centuries, the British currency system was a complex tapestry of pounds, shillings and pence. A system rooted in tradition, but to the outside world, and increasingly to a modernising Britain, a bewildering puzzle. The winds of change were blowing, and on the 15th of February 1971, the nation took a monumental step. It was Decimal Day. The old system was swept away, replaced by a simpler, decimalised currency. This was a profound cultural shift, and it posed a significant question for our story: what would become of the crown? The crown, with its historic value of 5 shillings, had no direct equivalent in the new system. Its traditional role was seemingly lost. However, the Royal Mint, mindful of the tradition established by the 1935 Jubilee issue and the popular 1953 coronation and 1965 Churchill crowns, was not prepared to let this iconic coin fade into history. A new role was devised for it. The crown was reborn not as a 5-shilling piece but as a new coin with a face value of 25 new pence. This new 25 pence piece was created purely for commemorative purposes. It was of the same substantial size and weight as its predecessors, a deliberate choice to maintain that tangible link to the past. The first of these new decimal crowns was issued in 1972, celebrating the silver wedding anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. It was a continuation of the royal commemorative tradition, signalling that even in a new decimal age, the crown would remain the preeminent coin for marking events of national and royal significance. Subsequent issues followed this pattern. In 1977, a crown was struck for the Queen's Silver Jubilee, a direct echo of her grandfather's celebration 42 years earlier. In 1980, one was issued to honour the 80th birthday of the Queen Mother, and in 1981, the nation celebrated the royal wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer with another 25 pence crown. These coins were produced in their millions, becoming popular souvenirs and gifts. However, the 25 pence value was something of an anomaly. It didn't fit neatly into the new coinage structure. And by the 1980s, inflation was rendering its face value increasingly modest. The Royal Mint recognised that for the crown to retain its prestigious status, another evolution was necessary. The 1981 Royal Wedding Crown would be the last of its kind. The era of the 25 pence commemorative was drawing to a close. The solution came in 1990. The crown was to be reborn once more, this time with a new, more substantial face, value of £5. This was a masterstroke. The £5 valuation restored the coin's prestige, positioning it once again as the United Kingdom's flagship commemorative issue. The first £5 coin, fittingly, marked the 90th birthday of the Queen Mother, the subject of one of the popular 25 pence crowns a decade earlier. This transition from the 5-shilling piece to the 25 pence coin and finally to the £5 coin is a remarkable story of adaptation. It shows an institution, the Royal Mint, carefully navigating a period of immense national change while striving to preserve a cherished tradition. The crown, a coin with roots stretching back to the Tudors, had successfully found its place in the 21st century, ensuring its survival not just as a piece of currency, but as the premier canvas for commemorating British history. While the crown held its prestigious position for marking grand, state occasions, a new player was emerging from the crucible of decimalisation. It was a coin of a revolutionary shape, an equilateral curve heptagon, designed to be instantly recognisable by touch alone. This was, of course, the 50 pence piece. Introduced in 1969, ahead of full decimalisation, it was a workhorse coin, a practical part of daily commerce. Yet its broad, flat surfaces seemed to invite artistry. It did not take long for the Royal Mint to recognise its potential. In 1973, Britain's entry into the European Economic Community, the EEC, was a moment of immense political and social significance. It was a turning point in the nation's post-war history. To mark this occasion, a special 50p was issued. The reverse featured a simple, elegant design of 9 interlocking hands representing the 9 member states of the community. This was a pivotal moment. For the first time, a major national event, a political one at that, was being commemorated not on a large silver crown intended for a draw, but on a circulating coin that would pass through the hands of millions. It transformed the very idea of a commemorative. It was no longer just a souvenir to be purchased. It was a discovery to be made in one's change. This single act brought the world of numismatics to the masses in a way that had never been seen before. The success of the 1973 EEC 50p set a new precedent. The coin became a canvas for celebrating a much wider range of subjects than the crown had traditionally covered. It became the people's commemorative, a way to mark aspects of British life and culture that resonated with the general public. It told stories not just of monarchs and state events, but of shared heritage and national passions. Over the following decades, the 50p would become a gallery in the nation's pocket. In 1992, a special design marked the United Kingdom's presidency of the Council of Ministers and the completion of the single European market. In 1994, it celebrated the 50th anniversary of the D-Day landings, a poignant tribute to wartime sacrifice. In 1998, it honoured the 50th anniversary of the National Health Service, an institution at the very heart of British society. Each new issue sparked a flicker of excitement. The thrill of finding a new design in one's change became a quiet national pastime. People began to check their pockets more closely to set aside these special coins. The 50p was fostering a new generation of collectors, drawn in by the accessibility and diversity of the designs. It was no longer a hobby reserved for specialists, it was for everyone. This humble 7-sided coin had fundamentally changed the landscape of UK commemorative coinage. It had democratised the act of collecting and expanded the scope of what a coin could celebrate. From political unions to beloved institutions, the 50p became a dynamic and evolving reflection of Britain itself, setting the stage for an explosion of creativity and collector interest in the years to come. As the 20th century drew to a close, the British coinage system was preparing for, well, another significant innovation. The £1 coin, introduced in 1983, had become a staple. But there was this sense that a higher denomination circulating coin was needed. The Royal Mint, ever forward-looking, began to experiment. The result would be really another first for the United Kingdom, a bimetallic coin, the £2 piece. But, you know, the story of the commemorative £2 coin actually begins before this. The very first £2 coins, struck in 1986, were not bimetallic at all. They were single, uni-metallic pieces made of nickel brass and were produced purely for collectors, not for circulation. The inaugural issue commemorated the 13th Commonwealth Games held in Scotland. Over the next decade, a series of these single metal £2 coins were released, marking events such as the centenary of the Bill of Rights in 1989 and the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II in 1995. These early £2 coins were handsome pieces, but they remained firmly within the realm of the dedicated collector. They were not part of the everyday experience of the nation. The true revolution, though, came in 1997 with the introduction of the new, circulating bimetallic £2 coin. Its design was ingenious, an outer ring of nickel brass, the colour of gold, surrounding an inner cupro-nickel disc, the colour of silver. This wasn't just for aesthetics, it was also a security feature. The standard design by the artist Bruce Rushin was a symbolic representation of technological progress from the Iron Age to the Internet, but the Royal Mint had grander plans for this new bimetallic canvas. From the very beginning, it was intended that the reverse design would change regularly to accommodate commemorative issues, following the successful model established by the 50p coin. The first of these circulating commemorative £2 coins appeared in 1999, marking the Rugby World Cup. This was followed by a wave of designs celebrating science, history and engineering. We saw tributes to Marconi's first wireless transmission across the Atlantic in 2001, the centenary of the discovery of DNA in 2003, and anniversaries of monumental achievements like the first steam locomotive in 2004 and the gunpowder plot in 2005. The £2 coin quickly became a favourite among collectors. Its larger size and dual metal composition offered a splendid canvas for intricate and compelling designs. It allowed artists to tell a story within the small circle, often with incredible detail. The contrast between the golden-hued outer ring and the silver-coloured centre created a natural frame, drawing the eye towards the central narrative. Like the 50p before it, the circulating commemorative £2 coin brought history and culture directly into the hands of the public. It celebrated the nation's intellectual and engineering heritage with a gravitas that really befitted its value. The evolution from the collector-only uni-metallic piece to the circulating bimetallic coin marks another chapter in the democratization of commemoration, creating a new and exciting frontier for numismatic art and public engagement. While the 50p and £2 coins brought commemoration to the masses through their circulation, the Royal Mint also perceived an opportunity at the other end of the collecting spectrum. There was a growing interest not just in design, but in the intrinsic value and timeless appeal of precious metals. This led to a new and ambitious strategy: the introduction of high-denomination silver commemorative coins, specifically for the collector market. This initiative began in 2013 with the introduction of a £20 silver coin. This was a significant departure. Unlike the £5 crown, which had a history rooted in circulation, these new coins were never intended to be spent. Their face value, while legal tender, was primarily symbolic, a placeholder for their true value, which lay in their silver content and their status as limited edition collectibles. The £20 coin for £20 face value was a simple and appealing proposition. The themes chosen for these silver issues were quintessentially British, designed to evoke a sense of history and national pride. The very first £20 coin featured a classic image of St. George and the Dragon by Benedetto Pistrucci, a design synonymous with British coinage for 200 years. Subsequent issues celebrated the birth of Prince George, the 50th anniversary of Winston Churchill's death, and the Queen becoming the nation's longest reigning monarch. Each one was a silver snapshot of a moment in time. The success of the £20 coin prompted the Royal Mint to expand the range. Soon, a £50 silver coin was introduced, followed by an even more substantial £100 coin. These higher value pieces allowed for larger canvases or flans, upon which artists could create even more detailed and impressive designs. They often featured iconic British landmarks, such as Buckingham Palace or Big Ben, rendered in fine, frosted detail against a brilliant, mirror-like background. These coins appealed to a different kind of collector. While some were drawn to the treasure hunt thrill of finding a rare 50p in their change, others were seeking tangible assets. They were drawn to the purity of the silver, the guarantee of the Royal Mint's quality, and the knowledge that they were acquiring a piece of enduring value. It was a way to invest in precious metal while also owning a piece of curated art. The production of these coins was strictly limited, adding an element of scarcity that is crucial to the collector's market. They were sold directly by the Royal Mint and its distributors, often selling out quickly. They represented a modern fusion of two ancient traditions, the art of the medalist and the age-old human desire to hoard and hold precious metals. The introduction of the 20, 50 and £100 silver coins marks a diversification in the Royal Mint's approach. It demonstrated a sophisticated understanding of the modern collector, recognizing that the community is not a monolith, but a spectrum of interests. From the pocket money collector to the serious silver investor, the Mint had now created a pathway for everyone to engage with the story of the nation told in metal. The £5 coin, the modern iteration of the historic crown, stands today as the United Kingdom's most versatile and prestigious commemorative canvas. Since its re-tariffing in 1990, it has evolved far beyond its original remit of marking solely royal or state occasions. It has blossomed into a dynamic and eclectic series, a true reflection of the multifaceted nature of modern British culture, history and achievement. The series continues its traditional role with magnificent grace. It marks the significant milestones in the life of the royal family, the jubilees, the landmark birthdays and the weddings, with designs that are often classical and imbued with a sense of gravitas. Coins like the 2002 Golden Jubilee, the 2012 Diamond Jubilee and the 2022 Platinum Jubilee issues are cornerstones of the series, chronicling the remarkable reign of Queen Elizabeth II for future generations. However, where the £5 series truly reveals its modern character is in its embrace of popular culture. This is most vividly seen in the Music Legends series. Suddenly, the same denomination that honoured monarchs was celebrating the revolutionary sounds of Queen, Elton John, David Bowie and The Who. These coins, often released in vibrant, colour-printed versions, connected with an entirely new audience, bridging the gap between numismatics and music fandom. Literature, too, has found a home on the £5 coin. The great figures of the British literary canon have been immortalised in metal. William Shakespeare, Jane Austen and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, have all been celebrated. These coins serve as miniature tributes to the stories and characters that have shaped the nation's imagination and its cultural exports to the world. Furthermore, the series delves deep into history, beyond the lineage of kings and queens. It commemorates pivotal moments and legendary figures. The anniversaries of the Battle of Trafalgar and the Battle of Waterloo have been marked with dramatic designs, while the lives of towering figures like Sir Winston Churchill and Stephen Hawking have been honoured, celebrating political leadership and scientific genius in equal measure. The sheer breadth of topics covered by the £5 series is remarkable. One year, a coin might celebrate the 200th anniversary of the National Gallery. The next, it might be the 150th anniversary of the London Underground. This diversity is its greatest strength. It ensures that the series remains fresh, relevant and surprising, offering something for every possible interest. In essence, the £5 coin has become the flagship of British commemorative storytelling. It is where tradition meets modernity, where royal pageantry sits alongside rock and roll. It is a testament to the Royal Mint's confidence in using coinage to celebrate every facet of British identity, creating a rich and ever-growing mosaic of the nation's story, one magnificent £5 coin at a time. In any ecosystem of collecting, certain specimens become the stuff of legend. They are the rarities, the elusive finds that create a thrill of discovery and command astonishing attention. In the world of modern UK commemorative coins, this is no different. While millions of coins are minted, certain issues, due to low mintage numbers or unique circumstances, have acquired a near mythical status among collectors. At the very pinnacle of this pyramid of rarity stands a humble 50p piece. The 2009 Kew Gardens 50p, issued to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Royal Botanic Gardens. Its design features the famous Chinese pagoda entwined with a vine. For reasons that are not entirely clear, the Royal Mint produced only 210,000 of these coins for circulation. In the grand scheme of coinage, this is an incredibly small number. For years it went largely unnoticed by the general public, quietly passing from hand to hand. But as the hobby of change-checking grew, word of its scarcity spread like wildfire through online forums and collector communities. Suddenly, everyone was searching for the Kew Gardens. Its value skyrocketed, transforming it from a 50p piece into a highly sought-after collector's item worth hundreds of times its face value. It is the ultimate treasure hunt coin. Another fascinating group of rarities comes from the 2002 Commonwealth Games held in Manchester. A series of 4 £2 coins was issued representing England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. The Northern Ireland coin is the scarcest of the 4, with a mintage of just 485,500. Finding a complete set of all 4 in good condition is a significant challenge for collectors, a quest that requires patience and a keen eye. Rarity can also be created by design variations. The 2008 20p coin, for example, features a design where the segments of the royal shield on different coins come together to form the complete shield. However, a small number of these coins were minted without a date. These undated 20p coins, released by mistake, are a modern minting error and are exceptionally rare and valuable. It is a reminder that sometimes imperfection is what creates the greatest prize. Other notable rarities include the original, larger-sized 50p coins featuring the Victoria Cross, issued in 2006. 2 versions were created, one showing the medal and another depicting the story of a recipient. Both had relatively low mintages and have become highly collectible, especially since the larger 50p coins were removed from circulation in 1997. Making them harder to find. These rare issues are the lifeblood of the collecting hobby. They create the stories, the legends, and the excitement. They fuel the search, encouraging people to look more closely at the change in their pockets, in the hope that they might just find that one elusive piece. The allure of coins like the Kew Gardens 50p lies not just in their monetary value, but in the sheer, unadulterated joy of the hunt and the pride of a rare find. Our journey through the world of UK commemorative coins reveals a story of remarkable evolution. What began as a novel way to mark a royal jubilee has blossomed into a rich and diverse form of national expression. From the Art Deco elegance of the rocking horse crown to the pop culture vibrancy of the Music Legends series, these coins have charted the changing face of Britain. They are far more than simple currency. They are pocket-sized chronicles, tangible links to our shared past and present, each design a miniature monument to a moment that mattered. The appeal of these coins is enduring because it speaks to a fundamental human instinct, the desire to collect, to preserve, and to connect with a story larger than our own. And this story is far from over. In recent times, we have seen fascinating new trends emerge. The demand for gold coins, once the preserve of the most elite collectors, has surged as more people seek the security and timeless beauty of this precious metal. The Royal Mint has responded with stunning gold versions of its most popular commemorative issues, creating true heirloom pieces for the 21st century. New series celebrating the Platinum Jubilee have captured a historic moment of national unity, while designs honouring everything from British wildlife to literary anniversaries continue to capture the public imagination. The journey of the commemorative coin is one of constant motion, forever adapting and finding new stories to tell. They remain a unique intersection of art, history and economics, a testament to the fact that even in our increasingly digital world, these beautiful physical objects still hold a special power to connect us to our nation's story and to each other.